You are emotionally unavailable and you don't even know it. This one's going to be a good one. I will see you on the other side. Hello and welcome to the Black Swan Relationship Academy. My name is Chengi. I am your dating and relationship expert, founder of the Black Swan Relationship Academy, and I'm here to teach you ladies how to present as a high value, high status, and high worth woman that high quality men find completely irresistible. If that is you, you are absolutely welcome. Don't forget to send it to your friends, like it again, because we need to spread the Black Swan word. The word of the Black Swan needs to go out into all the world. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And today we're going to be talking about something that happens in my practice a lot. And because my videos are only on Sundays now, I really want to be able to pour into you so that you will really understand. Of course, at this stage, you will be able to also catch me on Tuesdays and Thursday at the Black Swan Life podcast. So you can go and check that out. All the links will be in the description box. But today I want to just talk about how we can be emotionally unavailable and not know it. The first sign that you are emotionally unavailable to yourself, because again, we don't always understand what's going on the inside of us because we're not self-aware as we ought. The first sign that we have that we are emotionally unavailable is when we attract a man that is emotionally unavailable. A lot of us attract married men. These men are emotionally unavailable. Some of us attract men who cannot commit, who cannot be consistent, who cannot truly show up. These men are emotionally unavailable. When we attract players that we know just sleeping around, these men are emotionally unavailable. And when we're in a relationship with a man that we don't feel a connection with, we know that this man is emotionally unavailable. There are other ways that we can tell. Maybe the man is millions of miles away and you haven't met ever, but you have this relationship. Chances are he's emotionally unavailable. Now, how does that help you know that you're emotionally unavailable? Because we know that we attract what we are, that whatever energy signature that we are living in is what vibrates out into the world. And men and people who reflect that energy will gravitate to us more naturally. Whenever I hear a woman talk about all the men that she dates that are emotionally available, and she gets frustrated because men are so emotionally available, where's she going to get one that is emotionally unavailable? Usually it's because she is hoping that she will meet a man who will cure her of her emotional unavailability, make it so amazing that he will coax her out of her position of being emotionally unavailable. When you see this, this is a surefire sign that you are emotionally unavailable. What are the things that make us emotionally unavailable? Number one, childhood trauma, or maybe recent trauma. We can be traumatized at any stage in our lives, but often it is a trauma that we experience in childhood that cements in our psychology and begins to create narratives and adaptations for the rest of our lives. Trauma, undealt with and unhealed, will definitely create, for some of us, if we adapted by raising walls to protect ourselves, often those walls never came down. We walk around with armor and walls, and we actually believe that reality is safety. But what happens is we start to attract people that are walled like us. So we need to begin to resolve some of the trauma that we are carrying around. If you are emotionally unavailable, then usually you are dealing with a lot of trauma and you're attracting people who are also dealing with the same kind of trauma. In this instance, it is well advised to get yourself a therapist or practitioner, a spiritual practitioner, a coach, a Black Swan coach, to help you focus and work your way through whatever that may be. You want to make sure that you are addressing it and co-regulating with a professional or somebody who knows what they're doing. Finding somebody who can help us in this way is a lifelong journey. It's like trying to find a husband. It's like trying to be found for love. It's finding that person that resonates at the frequency that you understand. For some of you, it might be somebody with the same religious persuasion. For some of you, maybe somebody of the same gender. For some of you, it may be somebody who has an energy about them that is more maternal. And some of you, it may be more paternal energy. Whatever it is, finding that right person who can help co-regulate with you is so, so important. And feeling that you have that safety with that person is so, so important, because sometimes they will have to trigger us. They will have to challenge us out of certain positions, and we need to know that we can fundamentally trust them, that they know what is right and good for us. Another thing that I found that makes women, especially church girls or religious women, emotionally unavailable is their celibacy journeys. Women who have decided to go on a celibacy journey often struggle to be emotionally open and available. The reason for it is they're afraid to unlock their sexuality, because many of us as feminine women are sexually wired according to our emotions. To unlock our sexuality, you often have to first unlock our emotional world and make us feel safe. And this is usually what we are avoiding when we are choosing to live in celibate lifestyles that are not guided by wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, that are usually being driven by purity culture agendas and well-meaning pastors and guilt tripping that usually happens in the religious world, and shaming that usually happens in the religious world. Often we are laden with guilt and shame, and so to allow another human being to come into our lives, to allow a man to come into our lives and really be open-hearted to him is difficult, because we're guarding against the falling, or we're guarding against the breaking of this pact that we have with God that then entitles us to whatever we think we've got, which is normally the problem with celibacy. Without celibacy itself being problematic, it is often the mindsets that we imbibe, that we take on, that then create the chaos and makes us have to put up walls. And some of us don't have walls, we have steel walls that cannot be broken. And it becomes very difficult for anyone, especially men, to connect with us relationship-wise. So you remain emotionally unavailable because you're looking for that one man who's going to say, yes, I will honor, and da-da-da-da. And it doesn't work that way. People will not invest in people who are not invested to get to know them, who are closed-hearted. And a man can feel that you're not present. And then we start to malfunction and demand things from men because we want them to sign off on our little boxes that we've checked off. And this, I find, is a primary tool for women in the church. So because of the pressure to stay celibate, that we don't understand why we're even doing it. So this is a really important conversation that I have a lot in the Black Swan Nation, which I'm inviting you obviously to be a part of. But these are conversations that need to happen behind closed doors and not in public, so we can really understand what is going on, because that will keep you single longer than anything else and keep you locked away. Some of us are still hurting. The next point is we are still hurting from a relationship that is just ended, or ended 10 years ago or 9 years ago. We haven't dealt with that wound. We haven't processed that relationship properly. So that's why I'm so excited about the Breakup Masterclass, because I go into that in detail. Some of us are still hung up on Mr. Big. I call him Mr. Big because of Sex and the City and the way Jessica Parker character, I forget her name, she was in love with Mr. Big. I always say to the girls, we all have our Mr. Big. We all have that guy who found a piece of us, got in there, sat down, and just won't go. And some of us have learned to process that relationship and get over it and go and create new relationships. But some of us are truly stuck. I have ladies who are still stuck on Mr. Big. And they can go dating, they can put themselves out there, but they're emotionally unavailable to any man. That part of them has been given away to this Mr. Big character in their lives. And they can be out here dating, doing the playbook, taking the boxes, following the script, buying all of the resources, and they will not attract a man in their lives who's emotionally available because they are not available to love anyone. They've given their love away. This is so dangerous, and we're going to be talking about that in the next video, or if that video hasn't already come out, about being alpha widowed. This is massive in terms of being emotionally unavailable.
What are you looking for? What do you bring to the table? Here's my number, he says on the dating app, and you have to figure out what you're going to do with that. What do you say when you really like him and want to be unforgettable on the app, at the party, in the moment? What do you say to set boundaries and standards in a high value, sassy, sexy way and still be taken seriously? What if I told you that we have created a 20-page downloadable PDF full of Black Swan scripts with exactly what to say to him for the unforgettable woman, and it's available now? And if that wasn't enough, what if I told you that I'm giving away a free sample script version that you can use immediately for free? To get both the free version or full version, all you have to do is follow the link in my bio and become unforgettable.
Some of us are too busy, we're doing too much. We're back in school, we're running businesses, we have a side hustle, we have too much. When you get too busy, not only are you using it as an adaptation to stay emotionally available, but this creates more emotional unavailability, and it becomes very difficult. And sometimes we can feel like, yeah, but aren't we supposed to have a fantastic, amazing life? Yes. A fantastic, amazing life does not equal a busy existence where nobody can reach you, touch you, or even get to you. We have to really ask ourselves, do I have room for a man in my life? Do I have room to meet and entertain and show up in my feminine energy for a man in my life? If I don't, then I am really dealing with my own personal emotional unavailability. And if you're somebody that gets easily overwhelmed by men or dating, or oh my gosh, it just feels too much to go online, too much to meet somebody, this is another sign that you are emotionally unavailable. With emotional unavailability, we can remain in that state of being for a long time, believing that we just need to meet the man who will fight for us, believing that we just need to meet the man that will razzle dazzle us, believing that we just need to meet that man that will become the exception to the rule, and that can keep us stuck and stunted. Emotional unavailability is usually because we are stuck in freeze mode. That's something in our past, something in our present, something recent, a fear, a thought, a perception, a concept, a perspective that we have has got us into survival mode, and we have not fought and we have not run away, but we have stayed in a place called frozen. We are in freeze mode. We cannot seem to come out of it. The only way is to really dig deep and to find out what is the root cause of that problem and dissect it, talk through it, understand it, and maybe do some work around that. It's really important, if we find that we are exhibiting these things, or that we have given ourselves over to a certain way of thinking, it's really important that we heal our emotional unavailability before we can even expect or want a man who is emotionally available to come into our lives. This is the work of experts. This is why therapists, good ones, people like myself exist. We're here to help you unblock and unplug, and to move your way out of freeze mode into a place where your heart is open to love. Having a heart that is open to love is not the same thing as a woman that wears her heart on her sleeve, tells everybody her business, wants everybody to know that she's in the room, wants everybody to know where she's come from. This is not emotional availability. This is too much. This is purging. This is more an adaptation of feeling unseen, unknown, and unheard. We're talking about emotional availability being that I am here to get to know you. I accept that there are things about you that I may not like, things about you that may trigger me, but I am overall here for the full experience, good, bad, or ugly. That's the only way that we can really truly open ourselves up to love. I hope that this video was helpful. Of course, if you want to get in touch with any of the coaches or I, do visit the link in the bio. I know so many of us don't actually go there, but do create a habit of going into the links in the bio, because that is where all of the offers are, all the special promos are. Everything is underneath this video, so don't miss it. You know, some of you will be like, how do I get in touch? It's in the bio. How do I book a coach? It's in the bio. How do I get in contact? It's in the bio. It's all in the bio. So please take your time, just hit that thing under the video and find all the information that you need, because we're waiting for you. We're waiting to help you heal and make you more emotionally available. Thank you so much for watching. In the meantime, do take care of you. Love you lots. Bye bye now. Well done for coming to the end of this video. What I want to ask you is, what have you learned? What is your takeaway? And what are you going to start practicing right away? Those 3 things are how you are going to get the best out of every class here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy. Please put it in the comments so that we can all have a look. So I can have a look, the coaches can have a look, and I promise you, we read every comment. We may not be able to reply to every comment, but we read all of your comments, and we want to see how you are growing. And we will see you on the next video.